Hello. Hello. You know, I just noticed. Let me check. Oh, no. Okay. Wait a second, what? First off, Twitch is giving me quality options? What the fuck? I guess that's what I just noticed. I wonder if they changed that recently. I've never noticed that I have quality options. Maybe not everyone has quality options for me, but I've never seen the option for quality options. The reason I noticed it is because I moused over my stream and it said it was 720, and I was like, am I outputting at 720? Because I'm supposed to be outputting at 900. But no, I am outputting at 900. My video quality was just automatically on 720 to save resources. And in fact, like, this is so fucking nice that I have a quality slider, because I want to set it to, like, fucking 480, or maybe even, like, 360, because the actual resolution that my I don't know, my stream preview is very small. I don't need it to be high quality, because, like, all of that quality is just downsampled anyways. Downscaled. Yeah, okay. Gaming. Here I am. Sorry. Like I said, legendary master of starting streams. I picked a good song, though. I did have to skim through a couple in the playlist before I got to a good starting song this time. There were a few that had, like, they were either really loud and obnoxious to start it out with, or, they were just silent and, like, ambient. So I thought this was a good mix. Hi, it's me, back at gaming, back in the office, and I actually have energy now. Can you feel the energy? It's like an entirely different vibe than it was yesterday, where I basically, like, I tried to play it off as best I could, but I kind of felt like I was gonna throw up for the entirety of yesterday's stream, and did literally, like, immediately after ending stream, rush to the bathroom. You can make up in your own mind what happened when I got there, but it wasn't pleasant. Anyways, Minecraft. And I'm not sick. I feel much better. What was I doing? Okay, so I still want to make this room bigger. I'm not sure if I want to extend the walls out. I'm gonna need, like, a lot of tools. Let's prepare first. Because I think, want to push the walls at least, like, one more set of... How many blocks is this? I think I'm gonna go out an additional 6 on both of these walls, and then I'm gonna push this back, like, maybe 12 or 18, because I want it to be longer in this direction. Currently, it's wider than it is long. I don't want that look. So yeah, let's get prepared. Let's get some tools. I have plenty of shovels. I just need to, like, fill my inventory with pickaxes, and then I can get to the banter. Which is kind of like the, you know, the lifeblood of the Minecraft series currently, because, you know, you don't really realize it if you just, like, watch Minecraft YouTubers, but, like, a lot of Minecraft is really fucking boring and, like, monotonous, mindless work, that usually just gets edited out if you're watching a YouTuber. That's not something I really have the luxury of doing on stream. I guess I never put coal anywhere. I guess I'll just put coal in there. Like, clear out my inventory as best I can, so I can fill it with pickaxes. I should probably empty all of the cobblestone out of here, and just have, like, a dedicated cobblestone chest. I don't know. I don't think it matters that much, honestly. I'll just live with this for now, and it's gonna get filled up, but whatever. I don't need the seeds. I took the seeds out because, like, you know, I was obviously planning on using them to start the farm, but I just never did that. Let me make sure that all of these are empty, because I had a bad habit of cooking things in random furnaces and forgetting I had cooked anything. I'm just gonna prioritize using the one on the top left. God, my hair is annoying today. There's, like, the one fucking strand that's curling right over my nose. I hate it. Alright, craft time. It's like half of the game. Mining and crafting. Who would have thought? Now it's craft time. I think this should be enough pickaxes, honestly. I just, like, clear out this stack of sticks. That'll probably... You know, I don't even think I need to clear out the stack of sticks. That seems like overkill. Like, this seems like plenty. Am I really going to need all of these pickaxes? The answer is yes. But, let's see where this takes me. Because I don't want to fill up my inventory completely, or I won't be able to pick up any of the blocks I'm mining. That seems like a decent compromise. It might seem overkill if you've never seen alpha gameplay, or if it's been a while since you've seen alpha gameplay, but it's very much not overkill. Tools seriously last for like 5 minutes max mining, and then they break. 5 is honestly a little bit too forgiving. It's more like 2 minutes of mining, but you'll see that. All right, so I'm gonna go out 6 more blocks. Let's do that. And first bit of discussion that I had set out for today is very related to what I was talking about last time. Do I want to... I'm just now remembering that this wall is like in set 1 by that wall. I think I might want to pull this wall back a little bit after I get past the elevator portion, which would be just 1 extra block, right? It goes in 2, and then I need a wall, so this should be safe to mine out. That is safe to mine out, okay. Just checking. Then I want to get cobblestone back in there, because I don't want to dig in 2, just 1. Just the 1 is okay. And I'll make the wall look pretty later. I'm not going to worry about how the walls look right now, because it's all going to be ugly, no matter what the texture is. I'll fix that later. But yeah, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the, basically YouTube's version of TikToks. Do I wanna... No, okay. That's fine. I was thinking about maybe, like, pulling it forward a little bit, but I think that would just look ugly and be unnecessary. It's fine if there's just a little bit that stands out here. I can make it look nicer with what blocks I use in the future. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, YouTube, for anyone not aware, or, you know, did not tune in for the last time I talked about it during the Minecraft stream, in short, that's a pun, that's a very funny pun, YouTube has a version of TikTok built into it now, basically. And there you go, there's the first pickaxe. Although that one was partially damaged, that's a good representation of how quickly these things break. But yeah, YouTube implemented YouTube Shorts not that long ago. I think it's like within a couple of months of me talking about it right now, it being March 3rd. I think they released Shorts somewhere close to the start of 2021. So it's a pretty recent feature. And there's been a bit of buzz surrounding it because it's a pretty powerful feature compared to, like, other YouTube sources of visibility / marketing. So I just want to go out 6, right? And then the torch. Yeah, and then the torch would be, like, right in front of me here. But yeah, like, YouTube used to be heralded for how good it was at pushing videos to people. Like, this is talking about, like, 10 years ago, or maybe even more. But YouTube's not really that kind of landscape anymore. It's very difficult for a video to get recognized, and as I've mentioned with a more recent figure that has kind of come into public eye, Joel Haver, he had been releasing, like, very quality content for a few years, but very strongly for, like, a year or 2 years, with literally no recognition, just because YouTube is not really a platform that pushes new content anymore, like it used to be. That is with the exception being YouTube Shorts that are actually pretty good at that. It functions basically exactly like TikTok does, where there is no barrier to entry in watching someone's video that you might have not clicked on. Because, like, the biggest problem with YouTube's visibility now is that it's very hard to get someone interested in clicking on a video that has, like, very, very low views. It's just not going to happen all that often. And YouTube doesn't promote content that has very, very low views in the first place. So not only is it, just from like a psychological standpoint, probably not going to work in your favor, it's also just the platform itself doesn't push, like, low-viewed, new creator content. But with the difference being for Shorts that they don't have to manually go out of their way to click on a video that has, like, maybe 0 views. It's just, like, shoved in their face, basically. It's the TikTok format. You don't select what videos you're going to watch, it's just straight-up algorithmic feed that shoves videos into your face, whether you're following or subscribed to that account. Which is, if you don't like viewing that kind of content, I'm one of them. I don't use TikTok or YouTube Shorts as a user. But it is very nice as someone making content that, basically, whether my content is any good at all, it's getting shown to people. And previously I had mentioned about the Shorts that I think they function, and they do function a little bit differently than TikToks do. Because TikToks, you basically get, like, one big hit of energy right when a video is released, and then it completely drops off. I'm still not 100% sure on the YouTube Short side of things, but I actually think it's more similar to TikToks than I had originally said last time I talked about it. Because last time I was excited by the thing that I thought YouTube Shorts were doing differently, but it turns out it's actually kind of just the same. It just made it look like it was acting differently, but it was just like a delayed effect. Previously I said that it looks like YouTube Shorts have more of a long tail compared to TikToks, which are just like one big burst of energy and then complete silence. It looked like, and it is a slightly longer tail, like, when a YouTube Short takes off, it does continue gaining traction for, like, a couple of days, if it's a good one. And I'm sure, like, the really, really good ones just keep going and going and going. So it seems like you can get a much longer tail with the YouTube Shorts, but it's not quite as, like, infinite as I thought it was going to be. Because, like, the way it had looked when I talked about it last time, there was a solid, like, 3 days where the TikTok had, like, a huge spike and was continuing to climb with no real end in sight until, like, 2 days later, where it's literally, like, you can see the graph going up, 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 and then at some point YouTube just decided, nah, we're not gonna send this to people anymore, and it's just a fucking deadline. Like, it goes, like, basically a hyperbolic curve straight up, and then it just plateaus for seemingly no reason. But those are the things you don't have control over, right? Like, I can't be upset at YouTube for deciding to not push that content anymore. I just have to accept that that's the way the platform works, and, I'm excited to get what I got out of that video. I am a little bit disappointed that, unfortunately, like, the biggest downside now, because last time I talked about it, I didn't really have a large scope of videos to really, like, pull data from. I think at the time that I talked about it last time, there were only, like, 6 videos that had actually come out on Shorts, my Shorts. But only, like, maybe 2 of them actually had any sort of data worth talking about. The others were just kind of, like, dead in the water, which is the biggest downside I'm seeing to the YouTube Shorts. Like, very, very rarely, I talked about how TikTok will just, like, not show people a video at all, but it's super rare that you release a TikTok and, like, less than 100 people see it. Like, most of the time, I'll release, like, a TikTok that I think is shit-ass garbage and isn't gonna go anywhere, and at the very least, it pulls in, like, a couple hundred. Which is super cool that I can not really try and get some level of viewership out of it. But yeah, unfortunately, YouTube seems to be doing that pretty frequently. Like, it seems like over 50% of my YouTube shorts, and like, I don't know, is it like a good idea to compare the YouTube shorts to the TikToks directly? I think it is. Like, I don't think it's unfair to do that. I think it's a pretty good representation of one platform over the other platform. Because, like, some of the TikToks that did super well, like, that gives me a pretty decent understanding that, okay, like, that was good content, people enjoyed that, in this style of format and everything. So you would think that that would perfectly translate over to YouTube Shorts, because it's the same kind of content format, with, you know, presumably fairly similar audience as well. Like, I think I can look at my in-depth analytics on the YouTube Shorts, where I can't really do that with TikToks. TikTok doesn't really have an analytics page, from what I can tell. So I was actually kind of surprised. Like, I looked at the analytics for the one YouTube short that did really well, and the age group, I mean, it could be people lying, but the age group was higher than I thought it would be for that kind of content. Granted, the game, for whatever reason, like, you know, I have no idea why that YouTube short took off over any of the other ones, because the YouTube short that took off was actually one of the TikToks that did not do all that well. It was a clip from the multiplayer Spelunky 2 stream I did with Nicholas, where he accidentally froze me and let a vampire kill me. Which I thought was a pretty good clip. Like, it's pretty goddamn funny. So I was sad that that one didn't pop off on TikTok, but kind of vindicated when it did on YouTube Shorts. But yeah, it is Spelunky 2, which I don't know. I feel like the audience for Spelunky 2 would maybe be a little bit older than the audience for Minecraft or Roblox, for example, or Among Us, you know? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it seems like certain games kind of gravitate towards younger audiences. So yeah, I was kind of surprised to look at the analytics for that YouTube short, because I had the impression that YouTube shorts and TikToks were kind of like a younger gamer's gambit, right? Like, I don't really find any sort of entertainment in that kind of content, and don't really seek it out actively at all. But I guess I'm just kind of like reflecting my own thoughts into it. Anyway, I'll stop like beating around the bush and say the actual number. It was like higher 20s, like older than me. For those unaware, I'm 23 going on 24 this year. And was surprised to see that the analytics said that the average viewership for that video was like high 20s. There were some young 20s too, but the majority was high 20s. Which was super unexpected. Super unexpected for that kind of content. But, yeah, anyways, what was I saying about comparing YouTube to TikTok? Yeah, I don't know. It's a certain kind of bad feeling when I can almost guarantee that the content is decent and has the potential to do well. Given that I look at the TikTok views and I'm like, oh, okay, so like people enjoyed this. This will be presumably good on YouTube Shorts as well. But then the YouTube short is just 0 views for like a week plus. And maybe, who knows, maybe it just takes like a couple of views and then that'll start sending it upwards. But I don't know how the platform really works right now. It's kind of in an indeterminate period where, like, I still think that I'm going to keep doing the porting TikToks over to YouTube Shorts, especially now that I have a way of doing it without an extreme quality loss. Because that was, like, the biggest thing that was making me hesitant towards the idea of continuing to do it, is I didn't really like that when you download from TikTok, it takes, like, you know, you could upload a 1080p video, but when you re-download it from TikTok, it gets downscaled to, like, 360p or lower, which kind of sucked. And it has, like, horrible bitrate, too. But, thankfully, it seems like when you upload the TikTok, if you select save as well, there's no quality loss, which allows me to do it without any sort of hesitation. So I'm probably going to keep doing it, but it's definitely less meaningful than I originally thought it was going to be. Because I had the expectation that the YouTube Shorts would just be, like, strictly better than TikToks. But currently, I think they're optimistically even, but I would probably say that the TikToks do perform better than the YouTube Shorts. And there's no real understanding for why that is, whether it's just like an algorithmic thing, or whether YouTube Shorts just don't have the kind of audience that TikToks do, because TikTok is like a super well-established platform at this point, but I don't think that many people actually know that YouTube has YouTube Shorts. Like, if you talked about YouTube Shorts to just anybody walking by on the street, they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? They'd be like, I know what YouTube is, but no, I've never heard of YouTube Shorts. Stream is going good. I've gotten literally nothing done. I've gotten literally nothing done. Other than banter, which is, like I said, the lifeblood of the Minecraft series. But definitely feeling better than I did yesterday. Which is helping. It's helping out a lot. It's nice to stream without the constant feeling of nausea. Okay, so that's probably the end of that topic. I feel like I've said everything I wanted to say about YouTube Shorts versus TikToks. Basically, the end answer is I just don't really know how rewarding YouTube Shorts are currently. They seem like they could be good, but I kind of feel that YouTube relies a little bit more on your channel's analytics, whereas TikTok doesn't really care about channel analytics, I don't think. Like, I don't think TikTok prioritizes pushing your content over other people's content if past content did well. I can't guarantee whether or not TikTok tracks things like that, but given just the kind of output or feedback that I've gotten from my TikToks, I kind of get the notion that it doesn't keep track of you know, past performance when deciding whether it's going to push your most recent videos. Obviously, like, followers matter, because if you have people following you, that'll give you, like, a head start to your viewership that'll then make that video do better, but I don't know, man. I just don't know, is the real answer of it. Maybe if the YouTube does get, like, equal subscriber count to the amount of followers that I have on my TikTok, it'll start performing more evenly compared to each other, but it's still, like, TikTok, when I had 0 followers on TikTok, was giving me, like, bare minimum 200 viewership. Like, it was showing the videos to some people, where it's, like, super disheartening to have videos out on YouTube Shorts that still, like, weeks later, don't have any viewership on them. It's like, why am I uploading to this platform if you're not going to do anything with the content I upload, right? But I'm going to stick with it and see where it goes, because it's been rewarding enough to make me want to experiment more with it, but it's definitely not the gold mine that some people say it is. It's definitely better compared to, like, the rest of YouTube's visibility and marketability. Like, it's a huge improvement over base YouTube. I would never argue against that. But compared to something like TikTok, which is basically the exact same platform, but just kind of better in terms of visibility, I don't know, it's hard to say one way or the other. But yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you posted as news comes out about the YouTube Shorts versus TikTok debate. scientists haven't gotten conclusive results just yet. Alright. I think the conclusive results, if there are any conclusive results for today's stream, I think it's that, yeah. Tools in Minecraft Alpha seriously last for, like, 1 stack of 64 before breaking. I think it might literally be 1 stack of 64. Because isn't this the exact same amount of pickaxes I had? Maybe, like, plus or minus 30 or so. But I had a full fucking inventory of stone tools, basically, and just pushing that wall back by 6 blocks has left me with this. It's kind of sad, kind of pathetic. But that's just what you have to live with in Minecraft Alpha. Alright, what else is on the list of conversation? You know, my girlfriend and I, Cassidy, we finished D. Gray Man. We finished D. Gray Man. Well, okay, finished is one way of saying it, I guess. We finished the anime, including D. Gray Man Hollow. Which, like, if there's anything worth talking about, because, like, okay, I guess I'll get my thoughts about D. Gray Man, like, finalized now that we finished the entire thing. And I should note that we didn't watch any of the filler content, so, like, all of the filler that was in the first 50 episodes we just skipped over. Because that's just kind of what we do for all filler content, because I hate filler content. I'm pretty sure my girlfriend does as well. It's just not very good. Most of the time. I'm not saying that filler can't be good, but it's just hard to have any sort of real impact or feeling of significance when they can't do things with any sort of permanence, right? Like, yeah, you can tell a good story without permanence, but, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to get attached to filler storylines when I know that it's basically content that's not supposed to exist. Like, it can't possibly have any sort of relevancy to the story. That being said, I was very surprised when, one of the Noahs that was, like, introduced to us for the very first time in D. Gray Man was, apparently a Noah that made a cameo in a filler episode. Because, like, they showed a flashback of the supposed introduction to this Noah character, and both of us were like, what the fuck? This is not content we watched! Which means, I guess they made the introduction to this character in the filler. Which is a super strange thing to do, but I guess at that moment, the manga had, like, shown the Noahs, so I guess it's not like, yeah, we had seen, like, glimpses, but the character hadn't been introduced to, you know, Alan as the main protagonist and kind of, like, main focal point or camera perspective that the anime takes place through. Like, you basically experience all of the anime through Alan's eyes. I'm pretty sure for the entire thing, right? Like, there's, like, very, very little content that, doesn't follow Alan. I'm struggling to think of anything significant that didn't happen when Alan was around. I guess, like, all of the boat shit, but, like, I don't know. That also, like, all could have been skipped out. But yeah, let me get the final thoughts before I get into the nitty-gritty. I was definitely correct in my assumption that D. Gray Man was the Kingdom Hearts of animes. Because it kind of is. Like, the story takes a lot of twists and turns that don't really seem to make any sort of coherent sense. And they're just, like... We looked into it a little bit afterwards, because, you know, I mean, I guess it's not really spoilers, but the anime doesn't complete the storyline, like, the manga is ongoing, apparently. So obviously, D. Gray Man and D. Gray Man Hollow do not wrap up the completed storyline, so we looked into it a little bit afterwards, because there were so many unanswered questions after Hollow. And this is where I'm gonna get into real spoilers, just because it just kinda, I mean, like, maybe the manga puts it in a way that makes sense, but, like, when I heard that the Millennium Earl was actually mana, or like part of mana, I just kind of, you just kind of go, really? That's what they want to do with that character, I guess? I don't know. It seemed like a weird one to me. But what do I know? What do I know about how to make a story? Apparently nothing, right? All you have to do to make a story is just say that characters are other characters. Xemnas is Ansem, but actually he's not Ansem. He's Ansem's, wait. Hollow? Is that... Wait, that's not the word I'm looking for. I think Hollow is a Kingdom Hearts. But I was looking for... Heartless! There. How can I forget Heartless? Ansem is Xemnas' heartless form of the hollow form of... Yeah, anyways, it's kinda... It gives me the same sort of feeling, where... I do not believe at all when Mana was created as a character, there was any intention of making Mana part of the Millennium Earl. But then as the writer continued the story, they were just like, ooh, I got a funny little idea that'll be crazy wacky, and just decided to kind of force it, where, I don't know, I don't really feel like it fit naturally into the story. It just feels like forced, you know? It's not like a surprising, oh, really? Oh, well, now it all makes sense! It's more of a, oh, really? Like, huh? That kind of feel? But okay, yeah, outside of that, I think that, like, the story that was encapsulated in the anime was not horrible, but the anime delivers it really, really horribly. Especially the original The Gray Man, which was like, I was actually losing my mind looking at reviews of the original The Gray Man versus reviews of The Gray Man Hollow, because, like, Hollow is just exclusively better than the original. Like, there's not a single moment in the original The Gray Man that I enjoyed more than any singular moment in The Gray Man Hollow. That being said, Hollow was definitely rushed, and I do... Well, not rushed, as in, like, they got it out faster than they should have. I mean rushed as in, like, the pacing of the story was maybe a little bit too fast, but I would always prefer pacing that's too fast over pacing that is ungodly slow, which is what the original The Gray Man was. Like, basically, I don't know, at least 50% of the scenes of the original The Gray Man could probably have been cut, because at least 50% of the scenes are just straight repeats. And I don't mean it's like the flashback thing that Naruto has, because obviously there are animes that have issues with that as well, but it's still pretty bad. Like, even if the scenes are reanimated, which they usually were, there were some flashbacks. It's just kind of like a shonen staple, right? Is that they're gonna show flashbacks every now and then, usually not for context, but usually because they can get away with filling some airspace as the illusion of context, when it's really just like, oh, we have to really pump out these episodes like every week, so let's reuse some content whenever we get a convenient chance to. So yeah, I kind of hate that. One Piece is pretty bad with it too. It's been a while since I like, we're not current on One Piece, but for the majority of the One Piece that we watched, did have a little bit of flashback syndrome here and there. And, oh, recap is really bad, with One Piece especially. I remember recaps being pretty bad in Naruto too, but I don't think anything was as atrocious as One Piece's recap segments, like at the start of every episode. There are many, many episodes where by the time you get done with the recap, they actually have to load, like, the advertisement splash screen, because the runtime is halfway over. I'm exaggerating a bit, but at times it can be pretty bad. What am I doing? Making more cobblestone tools, because apparently 80 of them was not enough. I might as well just use, like, the rest of my wood. I don't know why I'm being, you know, picky about how I use this. I can chop down trees in a bit, once it's daytime, preferably. But yeah, anyways, what was I saying? Probably nothing important. What I'm trying to say is that the original D-Gray Man is really bad. Like, I don't know about the manga, because obviously we didn't watch the manga, or read the manga, I mean. I would just assume that the manga probably handles the pacing a little bit better, but who knows, maybe the anime is like a one-to-one adaptation of how slowly paced the manga is. And maybe that's why people herald it as much as they do compared to D-Gray Man Hollow. But yeah, even though there were definitely moments where it seemed like there were a lot of threads happening in D-Gray Man Hollow at once, and they weren't really going too deep into some of those threads. Like, at many moments in Hollow, there were, like, multiple fights going on at the same time, but they only targeted in on, like, 1 out of the 5 or 6 that were ongoing. Which is, you know, honestly, preferred for me. Like, I don't really see a problem in that, because from what it seemed like, the resolution to all of the other fights didn't really have any sort of significant impact on the story. So they really only focused in on the important bits, which I'm always there for. And again, I don't know how accurate it is to the manga, so maybe the manga did the exact same thing, and I'm just preaching about it for no reason. But it really... Still, just regardless of whether the manga does this or doesn't do this, I'm just straight up shocked at the amount of people that say the original D-Gray Man is not only better, but, like, significantly better than D-Gray Man Hollow. And are, like, talking about D-Gray Man Hollow as if it's, like, an utter disappointment. Like, how could they do this to the series with how much of a masterpiece the original D-Gray Man is? And I just kind of, like, roll my eyes. So I'm like, I don't know if anybody leaving these reviews know what, like, good content or pacing actually feels like. I don't know. I think the biggest problem with it is the fact that, like, I think it's the same thing that happened to the Harry Potter movies, where even though I would say, truth be told, I haven't ever actually watched the 7th movie, or both of the 7th movies. Both movies that follow the 7th book. So I can't speak for fact on literally every single Harry Potter movie, but from the ones I've seen, like, all of the Harry Potter movies are pretty damn good. But they would often get a little bit of negative heat from people who read the books and are like, oh, you handled this part horribly, you handled this part horribly, what the fuck were you thinking with this part? Why didn't you go in depth on the rat, my favorite character, the rat, which is actually a guy? It's my favorite dude. You just skipped over the rat guy. How could you? Sorry for forgetting his actual name. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan. But I feel like D-Gray Man Hollow feels that a little bit more than the original D-Gray Man, because people watch the original D-Gray Man first as, like, an introduction to D-Gray Man, and then after D-Gray Man, the original series ended, a lot of people were left with no option other than to read the manga, because D-Gray Man Hollow released, like, 8 years after the original D-Gray Man. So that's a lot of time for a lot of people to get caught up on, or just, like, read the entirety of the manga from start to finish from what's currently available, before D-Gray Man Hollow came out, right? And then I think that new wave of people that had read the manga are just giving that kind of Harry Potter level feedback, where even though D-Gray Man Hollow is good, and significantly better than the original D-Gray Man, I think it gets a little bit more negative heat because of the larger amount of people that had been into the manga at the time of writing the review and watching D. Gray Man Hollow. Whereas you're not going to see too many people, I don't think, leave like a brand new review on the original D. Gray Man, reading the manga first and then going to the anime. It's just not something that happens too often, honestly. Like, I feel like if you read a manga for something, you're probably going to be satisfied, because I think in most cases, anime adaptations are, especially for shonens, are usually going to be worse than the manga. So yeah, anyways, that's my thoughts on the matter. You know, I basically have nothing good to say about any of the content that was shown in the original D. Gray Man, but I could say some good things about Hollow. Like, there's still some things that don't make sense, just because, like, I honestly think the manga doesn't really make sense a lot of the time. Is kind of what I get from it. It just seems like characters sporadically act, like, wildly opposed to what they previously were acting like. Like Xiaoji, I mentioned it the last time I talked about D. Gray Man. I need more water. I'm talking too much. Xiaoji, had, like, no reason to immediately 180 on Alan, and, like, that felt like a very forced moment in the anime, and I'm sure it felt forced in the manga as well. Xiaoji's character just doing a complete 180 and being like, alright, Alan, I hate you. You're my enemy now. And then Alan immediately saved him, and he was like, oh, how could I do this? The last thing I'll say to this man is, I hate you, and now he's gone and risked his life saving me yet again. It just, I don't know. It felt like pointless drama just to create pointless drama. Like, it didn't seem like there was any sort of meat to that character 180. And then again, in D. Gray Man Hollow, and presumably in the manga as well, you know, Alan is, like, seen as a traitor. Spoilers, by the way. I did mention there were probably going to be spoilers. Alan is seen as a traitor to the Order, and the Order basically say, like, yeah, shoot on sight if you see Alan. He is no longer friend of the Order. And Xiaoxi is, like, once again, like, no matter how many times Alan has saved his life, he's just like, oh, yeah, he's bad now. He's bad again. I hate this guy. Like, it just makes no fucking sense to me. I don't know. And there's more than that as well, but that's one of them. Like, another big thing is it's so weird. Like, at least, and I'm not saying I really like this about shonen animes, but, like, usually when shonen characters introduce, like, you know, extreme hardships and strife that they can't overcome, it comes with, like, a little bit of, like, a training montage or, like, an epiphany or something, some sort of thing that triggers, like, a new leap in power, and now the character is stronger than they've ever been before, right? There's only been, like, one real, actual, somewhat satisfying moment like that, and it's still, like, it's not really satisfying, because it really is just, like, Alan trying harder than he's ever tried before, now he's gonna use his full strength, and then he just, like, rips off his arm and turns it into a sword. Which, you know, it's just a shonen thing, right? Like, there's no explaining why the characters suddenly have, you know, extreme power to ascend even farther beyond moments. Thankfully, at least Alan didn't scream for, like, a full episode before going Super Saiyan 3. But, you know, I guess it would make a little more sense if there was a little more build-up to it than just he got pushed into a corner, so all of a sudden he's stronger than ever before. I want to get more shovels. There's a lot of dirt in this wall. But yeah, I'm not going to defend shonens for that one way or another. Like, there are more satisfying outcomes to a situation like that. Like, I don't know. I don't even really look at the Naruto one as a satisfying example. But, like, it was slightly better. And I'm saying slightly, like a strong slightly here. It was slightly better in Naruto when he, like... I mean, again, I don't really like the fact that it took like 6 solid episodes, but when they went through the training where he was making like shadow clones of himself to learn the wind element to Sharingan or whatever. Sharingan, what's it called? What's it called? Anyways, you get the point. I forget the name of his... Rasengan, there you go. It's basically the same word. I got it. Don't worry, I got it. Yeah, that was, I mean, at least it felt more natural, right? Like, you see the character putting in the effort. Although, I still think I prefer it when it's off camera, honestly. Like, I felt way more satisfaction as a viewer watching, the Water 7 arc in One Piece, where Luffy just gets his ass handed to him, like, multiple times, and then he, you know, says he's gonna, like, there's a moment where he's like, I'm gonna, you know, think about how to use my power more creatively, and then when he comes into the next fights, he's, like, already done that training off camera, which honestly makes the fights, like, more suspenseful and exciting, because you don't really fucking know what Luffy did, and then all of a sudden he starts, like, juicing on steroids using his own blood, and, it's exciting. He turns his bones into balloons. It's crazy. What a wild, crazy guy. A little freak, that guy. I'm sorry. But, yeah, I don't know. There was no real satisfying, like, additional power granted for the entirety of the Gray Man. And not only that, but, like, even worse. Most of the time, when the characters, like, get stronger, like, it's just, like, the most undeserved shit you'll ever see. Like, for a solid, like, 30 episodes, it felt like, they were, like, constantly avoiding level 3 Akuma, because, like, they would just get destroyed instantly. They wouldn't stand a chance. They would die without even getting a single attack in, right? And then, like, the next time you see, like, they kill one level 3 Akuma, and then the next time you see level 3 Akuma, they're just getting destroyed left and right, as if it's nothing. By characters that didn't even have, like, a significant power increase. Like, I can't even remember what the first level 3... The first level 3 Akuma to be killed was... And granted, it wasn't an immediate shift into now level 3 Akuma are meaningless, because the first one they showed being killed was by Lena Lee, who, like, more or less sacrificed her legs to do it. But, like, shortly after, like, then they just started fighting the Noahs, which, like, no, it, like, did? No, because after the Lena Lee fight, like, that's the long segment of them constantly avoiding level 3s. But then, yeah, okay, when they saw the Earl surrounded by the Noahs on, like, their headquarters, they did just immediately decide, okay, now we're going to attack the level 3s, but they didn't really stand a chance. Like, they they still didn't really fight them. They just kind of, like, blew them away, and but also, that's not very satisfying either, because they showed, like, actually thousands of level 3 Akuma, but then they were like, no, only those three. Those three are going to attack, and everyone else just stand by the sidelines. Just a lot of things in the anime don't make any sense. And then the fact that they could hold their own against the Noah, like, I guess, like, Kanda, maybe, because, like, very little of Kondo is actually shown in the anime, like, outside of the very first, like, level 2 Akuma encounter. Kanda is basically absent for the entire anime up until the end, where, you know, he fights Skin, which was not a particularly satisfying fight either. It was basically just guy with big armor, but oh no, when you hit my armor, it hurts you, but actually I'm invincible, so nothing can hurt me, and that was kind of the whole fight. Two people that think they're invincible going at each other. Not the most satisfying ending. Like Crowry? Crowry being able to do anything against Jazz Devi didn't make any sense. but at least, like, it was cool because he souped himself. Like, I think that was a nice outcome. If there was any nice outcome, like Crory getting basically beaten into a literal pulp and losing consciousness just for all of his blood to flow out and fight as a blood being. That's maybe one of the more satisfying fights that the anime actually showed. But then after the Noah fight, it just makes no sense. Like, the next time you see level 3 Akuma, like, even Lavi, who has gone through nothing. Like, Lavi doesn't exist as a character, basically. Which sucks, because, like, I don't know. I think Lavi is one of the more interesting characters in the anime, but it just feels like nothing is ever done with him. Like, basically, every single thing he tries to do to accomplish something in the anime, it's just, like, pathetically useless. Like, he'll use his Fire Stomp maybe 80 times throughout the original anime, and I don't think a single one of them actually did anything, except when he used it on himself, because he is the only person weak enough to be affected by his own attack. It just... I hate what they did to Lavi. And maybe it's just the anime, maybe in the manga it's better, but I don't fucking know. Anyways, yeah, that's that. That's the Gray Man entirety. That's all of it. I felt like there were a lot of moments where characters didn't do what it seemed like they should do. There were a lot of points where power levels just don't make any sense and just automatically get balanced out. It's like rubber band AI when the enemies get too strong, just for seemingly no reason. The characters will pretend to be afraid of them for a little bit, but actually, out of nowhere, they'll just get miraculously stronger and nothing will be an issue for them ever again. Like Bookman, not Lavi, but like the old Bookman. He was fucking killing and fighting level 3 Akuma towards the end of the anime, despite showing nothing that would indicate he got stronger at all. Just makes no sense. None of it makes sense. Very, very unsatisfying anime. Hollow, on the other hand, while, you know, still having a lot of those problems, was at least always fun to watch. Which is something I can definitely not say for the original D. Gray Man. You know, pretty much for the entirety of the original D. Gray Man, it was kind of a slog. Yeah, exactly. There were no actual satisfying moments that made sense that a character got stronger, outside of, like, I don't know, Crory getting souped and Alan getting a sword, but it still doesn't really make sense why Alan could just out of nowhere pull a sword out of his arm. Yeah. But the most frustrating thing to me was the characters that have, like, no even indication that they were stronger, just all of a sudden being stronger. Like Lavi being able to help with level 3s and Bookman and etc. I don't know, Mary always was kind of shown as a stronger character. But also, I don't know, they didn't really go too in-depth on Mary as a character. I think we skipped, like, one episode where Mary was introduced on accident. But, that being said, I don't know. They go into a little bit more on Mary's character, in Hollow. Which, you know, I thought the Conda stuff in Hollow was pretty satisfying. I think the ending to Hollow, where Conda comes back for no real reason, was less satisfying. I thought the storyline with Conda was honestly better, having both of them die, but oh well. I guess they didn't want to get rid of Conda. That, you know, makes sense. You don't really have that many interesting characters. Not that Conda is really an interesting character. The development made him more interesting, but, like, after that was all said and done, and Conda's gay lover passed away, like, I don't know, Conda is no longer interesting at all. Like, you have the backstory, sure, but the backstory has no connection to what the character currently is anymore. There's no, like, unsolved ties with the character other than, I guess, he, like, wants to I guess he's doing it so that he can, like, pay thanks to Alan? I don't know. It just... Who knows? Anyways, D. Gray Man kind of sucks, is the end statement. I think that's where I lie on it. Hollow was fun to watch, though. Hollow is significantly better than the original The Gray Man series. Yeah. Well, Tup's not even dead. You can't say that that Tup died, right? They could one day bring him back from skeleton form. You never know. It might happen. It might have already happened in the manga. Who knows? He disintegrated? They'll scoop his dust up. They got him living in an urn. No character has ever died in The Gray Man. Don't worry about it. I mean, even Tup, like, the characters that do die, okay, assuming Tup is dead, right? The only character that died that had, like, any significance at all was Alma. And I only believe that Alma was a good character because of Hollow. If it was handled in the same manner that the original The Gray Man series was handled, I probably wouldn't like Alma as a character nearly as much. What am I doing here? Oh my god, there's so many more blocks to mine than I thought there were. It's okay. Don't look at the gameplay. The gameplay's not important here. But yeah, I thought Alma was a decent character. Though Alma also, okay, still has the problem that all characters in The Gray Man have of their actions making literally no sense, because I just don't know how... First off, how does Alma know that the body he saw of, like, his original... I mean, are pronouns important here? Should I be saying her? Because it is a female mind in male body, I don't know. But, when Alma saw their original body, it doesn't make sense that they would immediately know that, they're Konda's original body's lover. And, they didn't show, like, Alma having, like, memory flashbacks and being like, now I know who I am. But let's assume that Alma does know who they were in their past life now, right? And then it makes a little bit more sense that they would recognize who they are in relation to Konda, I guess. Because Konda did briefly talk about, you know, what, but I don't know, like, Konda didn't really, it doesn't make that much sense, like, I'm trying to rationalize it, but the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, no. Like, even if Alma, like, all of a sudden had flashbacks and was like, oh, okay, so my past life was, like, a lady who was in love with this guy, like, that doesn't necessarily mean that that guy is Konda's other body. I don't know. Maybe that Alma saw Konda's other body as well and made the connection, but, like, why would Alma know who Konda's other body is? I don't know. Let's just pretend that probable plot hole doesn't exist. Even if we ignore that it doesn't make that much sense, there's even more that doesn't make sense. Because why the fuck would Alma's reaction be to kill everyone in the lab, including Konda? Like, I don't get it. I don't get why, like, wouldn't Alma be happy that, like, they get another life to spend with Konda's previous body? I don't know. I don't know. He didn't know it until he saw Konda's memory while he was in the coma? He didn't know then? What do you mean? Oh! Well, then that makes even less sense! What? If you're trying to say that Alma didn't know about the connection between their past body and Konda's past body until, I don't even remember the fucking character, the person with the mind's eye that took them in that journey, connected their minds in that way. If you're seriously saying that that was the revelation to Alma, it makes even less sense that they would go on a rampage and try and kill everyone. He just killed everyone after seeing the original bodies? But why? Like, I don't know. Okay, I guess it's not really, like... it's not really explained how they got the children's bodies that they put the minds into. So, like, you know, maybe there are some moral frustrations with, like, kind of murdering a child to, like, implant your own memories into them. But I just kind of assumed they were test tube babies. Because, like, they show them, like, sleeping in a vat of syrup and waking up. I just assumed they were, like, brand new bodies that the brains were put into. But yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get why you would be mad about getting a second chance at life. That seems like, I don't know, it seems kind of out of place. I'd be pretty excited if I just woke up in a vat of soup and got to live again. Especially given that their bodies are, like, basically immortal, which is another reason I kind of think they were just test tube babies. And not just children. I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, you are put through, like, your daily torture routine. That's a little upsetting. But, they got the hang of it after a while. They got the hang of it. It wasn't that bad. Like, the second Exorcist thing, which is what that was, the program of, like, making exorcists from the deceased brains of past exorcists, it didn't seem nearly as problematic as the anime wanted it to be. Like, I don't really see the moral difficulty with it. Like, yeah, you're putting children through torture, I guess, but also they're not children. They are adults in child bodies. And beyond that, like, it's kind of implied that they signed up for it, because Mary was put on the second Exorcist list, and Mary had, like, you know, 100% idea and knowledge of what he was signing up for, or what was signed up for him, basically, because he didn't seem to really like it. But that being said, it's I don't know. Doesn't make sense that Alma would rampage. Even less so if the implication is that Alma had no recollection of the past memories between Kanda and themselves. But who knows? We're almost there, dude. We're almost there. I'm done talking about D. Gray Man. It sucks, and there's, like, no coherence between the story anyways. So, next topic. I don't even know. Dude, I'm fucking thirsty. Can I go get some water? Is that legal as a streamer to take a break an hour in to get water? I think we put that on the illegal list, but I'm gonna go get water real quick. Be right back. I'm back. All right. What'd I miss? Anything fun happen? Yeah, okay. Cool. I'm trying to find a natural transition between what I was talking about and literally anything on the list of things I had to talk about, and there is no natural segue whatsoever. Like, I could just try and force a jarring interlude, but it's probably not going to be smooth no matter how I try. You know, something else that I don't have on the list, but I could talk about. We in addition, I know a different anime, except this one's an animated movie. Does it really count as an anime? Some would say yes, some would say no. We watched Tokyo Godfathers. That was a good movie. It's so... especially because we watched it before we even watched D. Gray Man Hollow. We watched it while we were still in the middle of the original D. Gray Man. It is like... extreme whiplash going from the disgustingly slowly paced storytelling of the original D. Gray Man anime to a Satoshi Kon movie. And a really, really good one. I would say that because we've only watched two. We've watched Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers now. I think I like Tokyo Godfathers more than I like Paprika. Water is good. Checks out. Purified drinking water. Let's check the ingredients on this bad boy. Let's check, Alright, no ingredients list, unfortunately. Do water bottles usually have ingredients lists? Probably not, right? It does say processed by advanced filtration, ozone, and reverse osmosis technologies. Wow. Crazy. I'm pretty sure, like, at least two of those are things you don't actually want. Advanced filtration, sure. Ozone? What do you mean? Am I drinking... Am I drinking, like, positive pH water? Basic water? Am I drinking acidic water? Am I drinking ozone-fueled water? I don't want to be. Reverse osmosis. What does that mean, reverse osmosis? Osmosis is obviously water passing to the place of least concentration. The fuck is reverse osmosis? Can I please get some scientific research on reverse osmosis? I would believe it's a real thing, but it really seems like they just put buzzwords on the back of the water bottle. Like, ozone, in terms of water, makes literally 0 sense to me. Like, am I drinking H2O3? What's the implication there? Okay. Inventory. Pickaxes, that's right. This song and dance. I was talking about Tokyo Godfathers. It's been a while since we watched Paprika. I feel like Paprika is probably the kind of movie that would benefit from multiple watchings, because the story is a little bit hard to follow at times. So maybe I would enjoy Paprika more with a few more watches, but just the first run through of Tokyo Godfathers was super enjoyable. Super enjoyable. And I kind of expected it to be after I realized it was a Satoshi Kon movie. But even still, pleasantly surprised. Like, the storytelling was really well done. And, like, I know you could probably make complaints that, like, okay, it's just a movie that's a series of coincidences. Yeah! That is, like, a large part of it, is, but I don't know, the movie plays on that theme of, like, it being a God-sent baby. Like, it's supposed to kind of... I mean, I wouldn't say it's religious, really. Like, there are definitely religious tones to it, but Yeah, there's the ideology or theme throughout the movie that, the baby is kind of like protecting their journey through the world. It's a miracle Christmas, baby, exactly. But, yeah, great movie. There's, like, a lot of threads that basically all, like, tie up nightly into a nice little Christmas bow at the very end. The ending scene especially, I'm just like, ah, what a cute ending. I liked it. Good movie. Would recommend. And yeah, it's just like, what a shift in gears from taking 6 episodes to like wrangle a dude's body out of like another massive body, and then finding out that, oh no, he's brain dead, but at least he's still alive, and then having him unzip like a fucking like sweater jacket and have butterflies pouring out of him, and yeah, okay, anyways, the point is, it's better than The Gray Man, is what I'm saying. That's the point. That's the end goal of that sentence. Right. maybe I'm satisfied with the size of this room. Maybe I don't want to push this back 12 or 18 blocks. It's becoming a pretty fucking big room. I think I might be okay with this after I level out this wall, and I'm gonna start working on, I do want to bust out the ceiling a little bit more, which I know is gonna be, like, miserable as hell. But after I bust out the ceiling, like, maybe 3 extra blocks? I would be satisfied with that, and then I'll, start actually working on putting trees in here, which is the plan, by the way. This is supposed to be an underground garden and farm area, though currently might not look like that. It'll get there. Just gotta put in the work, you know. I already put in like 3 hours of digging this out last stream. That's looking like what this stream is gonna be. I did say I was gonna do Dyson Sphere after this, but depending on how long I spend digging here, I might just call it. Because I did have a little bit of a late start to the stream today. It's been happening lately. I keep waking up too late, and then I don't get that much time to work on my game. And I have to eat food, and then I have to start stream late anyways. Which usually means I have to cut off stream a bit early, unfortunately. Your sister told you that she dug a mountain in Minecraft for 6 hours? There is one legendary playthrough of Terraria I did with my friend Austin. And he can vouch for me. So like, I've played a lot of Terraria, and quite a bit more than my friend Austin has. So I think it's literally the last time I played Terraria with Austin. I just like blitzed through progression to the point where I was like significantly farther along than he was, but he didn't just want me to give him items. So instead, I was like, alright, well, I don't really have much to progress until you catch up with me, so while you get a bunch of items, I am going to dig out an entire desert. And I spent like, maybe not 6 hours, but a solid 3 to 4 hours digging out an entire Terraria desert. He could vouch for me. Next time we play Among Us, haha. Probably, I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll play Among Us again. It's probably not a good idea for me to say I will never play a given game again. I'm trying to think, is there any game that I could safely say I will never play again? Probably not. But, we did try and dig out an entire Terraria world one time. Even on a small world, we spent like 4 to 5 hours doing it, and then realized we were only like 20% done. Trove? Okay, I will probably never play Trove again. That's a pretty easy one. I will probably... No, I was gonna say I'll probably never play Spelunky 1 again. The chances are I probably won't, but... I don't know. I might just, like, fuck around and be like, hey, what was it like? What was Spelunky like before Spelunky 2? Though I kind of doubt it, just because, like, I don't know. I already know that Spelunky 2 is kind of like just a straight upgrade from Spelunky 1 in basically every way. Some people will disagree on certain aspects of it, but I think it's significantly more fun. There are things that bug me about Spelunky 2's design, though. Like, I do wish there was an actual reason, like a better reason for going on certain paths. Because, like, currently the only reason you would ever go to the temple is so that you get the space alien compass. But, like, the alien compass is not that significant of an upgrade. And outside of that, the temple and Duat are just way too fucking dangerous for any sort of advantage you get out of it. Not only is it extremely dangerous, but you also, like, lose whatever is on your back. So if you have Vlad's cape, or, wait, do you get to keep Vlad's cape? No, I think you lose Vlad's cape. Like, if you have a jetpack or Vlad's cape, you lose it when you sacrifice yourself going to Duat. It's just... And you can't save the Ankh either, which is... I know it's not intentional that you can save the Ankh, with the... What's it called? What is the water place called? Whatever. The other way, that's not the temple. It's not intentional that you can keep the Ankh, but, like... I don't know. Like, it's obvious that Derek knows about it at this point. I just wish the temple and Duat were a little bit more rewarding for how dangerous they were. Anyways, I probably will play Isaac, yeah. I'm not going to play it until the new DLC comes out, but I am likely to play at least a little bit of the DLC when it does come out. Probably not too much, like, if you're a huge fan of The Binding of Isaac, don't expect all that. But I'll play at least a little bit. It comes out real soon. Yeah, it's March 31st, right? What comes out even sooner, which is why I named the title of my stream Circular Savior Waiting Room, is Loop Hero, which I have already excitedly pre-ordered and am ready to play when it comes out tomorrow. No, I have to 100% it. Here's the thing. I didn't have... I fucking hate how often I have to craft pickaxe. You know what? I'm using the iron one. I never had a full 100% save file, but I had basically all of the non-grindy achievements, which includes the Keeper, because the Keeper is an incredibly grindy achievement, just to unlock the Keeper. I did a lot of the Lost stuff, despite not having Holy Mantle on Lost. So if I was to do anything with Isaac, probably just gonna download a save file that has things 100%ed up to the point that the game currently is. And then maybe I'll get all of the achievements for the new DLC, but probably not. It's just, I don't know, Isaac's design is straight up, like, I don't think it's all that great. I think that Edmund has his moments, but I think that there are definitely some things about Isaac that, it's like the same feeling I get out of Naruto. Naruto Shippuden, to be exact. It's like the creator clearly did not want to keep working on it, but there was a lot of demand for it to be wrapped up, or for more work to be done on it. So they just kind of forced themselves to continue, despite not really, you know, being in the right headspace for additional content, and the content that came out is kind of not that great. Because Afterbirth Plus is maybe, like, one of the biggest disappointments that's maybe ever come out of Edmund's career. I was going to say Isaac's career, which is also true. But I don't think Isaac himself is making the game. I also just don't like Nicholas at all. Not Nicholas. Love Nicholas, great guy. Nicholas, though, the game publisher, that is also the development studio for Isaac currently, is very scummy, and, you know, it's not to the level that I'm not going to purchase the new DLC, because I've already purchased all of the content in DLC up to this point. It seems really weird to make a moral standing when I've already kind of caved, as it were. But, yeah, not the hugest fans. Not the hugest fan of Nicholas, I mean. You can do your own research on that if you're not aware of reasons to not like Nicholas. I've gone into a few specifics, but I don't know. There's a handful of things that they've done that are abundantly shitty. And I would go so far as to say a misstep, even. Say they maybe shouldn't have done some of the things. Alright, let's get wood and not blow up my house. This is the first time I've stepped outside. Not only in the entire stream, but I think for the past 2 streams. I might have stepped outside for a little bit to get wood in the last Minecraft stream. But very rarely. Creepers really do just be permanent in this world. Oh, and he's gone. They have, like, next-level sneak in this game. Like, you haven't experienced a creeper until you've experienced a Minecraft Alpha creeper. They're an entirely different beast. I can't wait for the beta update. I know it's, like, only being stopped by me. Like, I could just right now update my game to the beta version. But I said that I wasn't going to do it until I at least have a passive mob farm. I'm probably not going to do a hostile mob farm, even though I could do a hostile mob farm in alpha. I'm probably going to wait on beta to do a hostile mob farm. Just because, like, I really want my leaves to decay is the true and honest answer. I don't want to punch down the leaves myself, and I really don't want them to just be hanging there forever, so. Excited to update to beta ASAP. But I'll get what I said I was going to do done beforehand. Because I do think it's kind of like a staple of alpha to do a passive mob farm. I mean, maybe not a staple. Like, it doesn't really keep in with the alpha gameplay experience, because, like, outside of Etho, I don't really know that many people who made a passive mob farm, straight up. But, you know, it's kind of like a historical landmark, so I'd like to make one while I'm in the alpha, since it is possible while you're in the alpha. I think it's also possible for, like, a large majority of beta. In fact, I don't think they changed the way mobs spawn until 1.0, or close to 1.0. I think passive mobs just spawned in everywhere, like they currently are, and despawn, like they currently are. But yeah, there'll be Isaac content. At least a little. I'm not going to promise that I'm gonna get 100% of the what is it even called? What's the name of the DLC? It's Afterbirth, Afterbirth Plus, and I forget. It doesn't matter. Who cares? But whatever the name of it is, I'm probably not gonna 100% all the achievements that come with it. Because that's just, I don't know, man. Given the track record of Isaac, I imagine it's going to look something like do a few things with literally every single character. Like, there's probably going to be a new alternate ending path that they want you to do with literally every single character, which at this point there's like 15 or so, with the additional characters coming in the new DLC. There's a lot of characters. So bare minimum, you're gonna have to do the content at least like 15 times. But even beyond that, there's probably just gonna be some shitty Isaac level achievements that are like, oh yeah, you don't actually unlock this until you do it 800 times with Isaac. Sorry. Whoopsie doodle. I didn't mean to do that one. Alright, so I need a Oh, I was like, did I really only get 6 logs? I got a lot of logs here. I need a few pickaxes. I don't want to go overboard with it. But I need a few pickaxes to mine out the ceiling, and then I'm satisfied. I'm probably gonna need more than this. Let's just go ahead and smelt this. And I should be able to make 2 pickaxes, I think? Yeah. So I got this left over. The fact that I am 1 diamond short of a diamond pickaxe haunts me to this day. Nope, yep, can't shift click. But, yeah, I'm excited for Loop Hero tomorrow. I think it'll be fun. From what I've played, I think it'll be fun. And there's been a lot of content. I'm not one of those cool streamers that gets early access to the game, unfortunately. But there's been tons of content from people who did get early access to the game. And people are going hard at it. Like, right now, you can go on the Twitch directory for Loop Hero, and there's probably a decent handful of people playing it currently that have probably been playing it for, like, the past 8 hours. Because it seems like people are enjoying their time with Loop Hero, which means I'm probably going to enjoy my time as well. I liked the demo. There are some things that I think were maybe shortcomings in the demo, but I didn't really talk too much about it, because the majority of the shortcomings in the demo felt like things that could easily just be fleshed out more in the full version of the game. Like, the item variety seemed really limited. Like, there were very few different modifiers you got on items. And I did misunderstand a handful of them, which, after looking back at the VOD on YouTube, I was like, oh, whoopsies. That's not actually doing what I thought it was doing. You know, let's do it this way. I'd rather mark out the corners. And I probably just want to mark out the corners ahead of time anyways. This is gonna be really ugly, but I don't know of a better way of doing it, so this is how I'm gonna do it. Wait, how did I... Am I brain dead? How did I mess this up on both sides? What's wrong with me? I need it to go up to the top block, like that. Yeah, there you go. Sure, like that. Perfect. So this needs to be 1 higher. Like, my brain just actually malfunctioned when thinking about how I needed to make the staircase look. There you go. Perfect. But I didn't even expect there to be multiple classes, but that is something that got spoiled to me by the people who have had early access to the game. You know, I haven't watched any of the content. Like, I've made sure that I steer clear of video footage because I do want to be mostly fresh to everything that I see in the game. But yeah, it was kind of unavoidable to hear that there were multiple classes, unfortunately. Okay. Let's mark out the corners first. I know that this is a little overkill, and I'm not talking about the fact that I can't get to sleep. Is that a timely reference? Are all the kids talking about overkill? Well, I don't even remember the name of the band. I wanted to make the joke, well, maybe not funnier, but at least have more context by remembering the name of the band, but I forgot it. I've forgotten the name. It's not that important. It's the same, oh, Men at Work. There you go, I remembered it. It's the same band that did the classic Vegemite sandwich song. The, Do You Come From the Land Down Under? I think it's literally just called Land Down Under or something. But, Men at Work, they got some good ones. Overkill being one of the higher-ups. But I don't listen to too much music, honestly. Too much different music, at the very least. Like, If I had, like, a Spotify, my, like, end-of-the-year Spotify thing would probably just be like, you listened to so many albums this year! And it would just be, like, 2. It would be, like, Close to the Edge by Yes and Jack Stauber's Micropop. That's basically all I've been listening to recently. Because Jack Stauber's Micropop is very good. Very, very good. Like, I like basically all of Jack Stauber's music, but especially Micropop. Like, there's a great diversity in the kinds of songs he makes in it. It's worth a listen if you haven't heard it. I would recommend. Alright, now I'm coming to the point where I'm running out of, like, idle banter, and I should probably just take a very awkward pivot to one of the things I had marked down to talk about. It's kind of related to, there you go. I was afraid I had, like, misaligned and I wasn't ever gonna break through. It's kind of related to a previous conversation I did have, which would have made a more natural transition if I had that as a topic in the past, but yeah, it's another advertisement thing. And I've also, like, briefly touched on it before, but it just keeps happening to me. Like, I don't know, am I, like, a target demographic for plasma? Like, it seems like every single time I open up twitch.tv, I'm given an advertisement for people trying to buy my plasma. And I'm not talking about when you put a lit candle in a microwave. I'm talking about your blood, your juice, your tomato sauce, your marinara. I think I briefly touched on it because I do think it's like, I don't know. I've definitely talked about it off stream, but I was always under the assumption, like, the first time I heard, like, oh yeah, you can't sell your blood or you can't sell your plasma, like, it's all donations. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense that, we as a country would decide we don't want to, you know, basically, like, profit off of people's literal lifeblood, right? So that, you know, in the worst light, the worst possible example, you could have people that, you know, regardless of how they got in that situation, find themselves in a tight spot where they need some money to survive, and as a country, I guess we've come to the conclusion that it's a-okay to sell us your blood if it's, like, one of your only means of keeping yourself alive, which I don't know. I think is a little weird. Maybe that's just me. But, like, obviously, it's illegal to sell organs, right? Like, organ donors, you just, like, mark up whether or not you want to be an organ donor. And, like, very rarely do you donate, like, a kidney while you're still alive. That's usually only going to happen if you know the person you're giving the kidney to. It's usually just a case that, you know, you have a card or, like, you sign up for it, whether you are or aren't an organ donor, and then if you die, which is probably going to happen for most of the people on the planet right now, when you die, they just harvest you, you know? Which is not the nicest way of phrasing it, but, you know, it's the true way of phrasing it. You just slurp up all your worth and give it to people who need it, which is, you know, I'm not gonna say you should be an organ donor, but you probably should be an organ donor. Just because, like, if you're already dead, why do you care? I didn't think about this. There are some people... is this even problematic? This is actually just kind of cool, having this water here. I think it will be problematic, though. Maybe? I don't know, I just don't want it here. I would rather have it covered up. I could maybe install, like, glass there in the future. But for now, I'm just gonna cover it over. Oh yeah, look at that. Water gonna get canceled? Cancel it, dude. Take it out. What was I saying? blood. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's weird. I guess is the end of the statement. I think it's very weird that you can be in a position. Now, I've heard that those plasma donation things, and I say donation because they say donation. Obviously, it's not a donation. The way they phrase it in the advertisements, and they're very careful about it, because I think they have to be legally careful about it. They do not say they are paying you for your blood, which is what they are doing. They're paying you for your blood. The way they phrase it in the advertisements and everything is that they're paying you upwards of, like, and I forget the price point, but it's like, I don't know. Let's say it's like $60. They're saying they pay you $60 just for your time. And it's very important that they're saying they're paying you for your time, because I think they probably would actually get into some legal trouble if they're like, yeah, we're just buying your blood off of you. Maybe so, maybe not, but I do think that there are... And this is the other opening? Okay. I do think that there are laws against selling blood, just like there are laws against selling your organs. Which means they have to be very specific in the way they phrase it, that they are not buying your blood, but are in fact buying your time. Which is kind of just like the most obvious, like, okay, yeah, no, I get it, you're trying to protect yourselves, but we all know exactly what you're trying to do here, right? Doesn't really fool anybody above the age of 3, I don't think. I didn't get fooled. But maybe it's just me. I need to go get more pickaxes, as usual. So yeah, anyways, I don't know. I feel weird about it. Don't sell your blood. I mean, do sell your blood if you need to, but also, like, I don't know! Is it just me? Is it just me that's like, this is a weird thing? I just feel like... I feel like it's a clear collapse of, like, society that, people who are worse off have to, like, sell their blood to make a living on top of working, like, 60-hour work weeks. While, I don't know, Jeff Bezos probably, like, drinking it from the tap. got a solid tap of O blood. I maybe shouldn't say that. But I did, so it's kind of too late. You think you should be able to sell your arm if you want to? I'm of the opinion that I think the country should probably protect you from not needing to get to that point. Maybe that's just me. But, yeah, I'm definitely not a libertarian. I do think there are some things that a country should kind of protect the people within it from. Whether you believe that should follow selling organs and selling blood is up to you. But I think selling organs and selling blood is kind of a weird area for me. Where, like, yeah, if you absolutely need to survive, I guess you don't really have an alternative, but also, like, I feel like there are other problematic things higher up on the ladder that caused you to get to that point where you're needing to sell your organs to survive, right? Like, you shouldn't feel like you need to sell a kidney on the black market to afford cancer treatment for, like, your other kidney. Which, I mean, that's kind of like an ironic example for humor's sake, but the situation is not very funny. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to be digging these. Fuck. It's too late, I already started digging these. You know what, I'm just gonna redo it in cobblestone. Or maybe I'll redo it in glass. I said I might want to redo it in glass anyway, so let's dig it all out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a weird little freak like that. Maybe the rest of the world wants to sell their blood and organs and limbs. Who knows? Who knows? I feel like the market's gonna go way down when certain companies start being able to manufacture organs that actually work. Because I don't think we're that far off from that, are we? Like, maybe I'm naive in saying that, but I was under the impression that that level of bioscience is actually kind of close. And maybe not like super close, but within the next like 30 years, I don't think it would be that surprising to see like functional lab-grown organs that could be transplanted. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm the crazy little freak. I did have a friend that wanted to get into that, but we kind of lost contact. I'm bad about that. Like I said, I just if I'm the one that has to initiate the first message, it's probably not going to happen for a while. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. I go out of my way sometimes, but if it's already been like a few months, I'm like, ah, fuck it, just send it, just let it ride. If they want to talk to me, they know where to find me. But that's probably not the best attitude to have. But, yeah, okay. I guess that's the end of my, my plasma discussion. I just think it's weird. I think the biggest reason I think it's weird, though, is because I had, like, I guess I just had, like, a preconceived notion that it was already something that, you weren't allowed to do. That was, like, actively stopping you from doing that. Like, the government wouldn't let you sell your blood. But oh well. You know, it's at some points, not the government, but, you know, certain individuals will allow it, so you can't even sell your GameStop stocks. I know that's, like, really old news, but I just, you know, popped into my head when they said they won't let you sell it. Alright, I'm sorry. I'll delete it. My bad. I'll never talk about stocks again. I do have, like... I've got, like, a small stock portfolio that I just use for fun. Like, there is basically nothing in it. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's fun to check in every now and then. It's basically, like, I treat it the exact same way as, like, my, my YouTube and TikTok stats. I'm like, hey, how's it doing? How's it going in here? And then usually I see, like, a decrease in, like, 30% from the last time I checked it out, and I'm like, nice, dude, keep it going. Keep it going. We're going straight to rock bottom. Let's go. Investment 101. Anyone who's got any questions, feel free to ask. I've got the Primo strategy guide for it. Oh, man. Maybe at some point I should probably care about that, but it's such a small amount of money that's in there in the first place. Like, I sent, because the I don't know, fucking investment firm? I don't know, it's weird. I don't know stock stuff enough to tell you what the name of the kind of service I'm using for it is. But, they needed you to send, like, your first investment via, like, cash through the mail. Or maybe, I can't remember, it might have been because they were having so many, like, order requests that, like, new applicants had to be sent through the mail just as, like, a measure to kind of pad it out because they were getting so flooded at the time that I was signing up for it. I don't remember. But, I did have to send them, like, the smallest amount, and it wasn't in cash, it was a check, but, I had to send them, like, the smallest, most pathetic check through the mail. And I'm sure they thought it was, like, a prank, because of how small the amount I sent to it was. But, yeah, I'm curious to what they thought when they were like, oh, is this, like, a real guy trying to invest with us, or is this just a joke? You just send us money as a prank? A fun little prank call, here's my check. You still alive, huh? I'm proud of you. Proud of you, buddy. But anyways, no more stocks. I'll never talk about stocks again. I'm sorry. That shit's crazy, though. Just goes up, right? Like, you just put money in there, and it just always goes up, literally every time. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna keep talking about stocks a little bit, because it's not even stocks at this point, I'm talking about crypto. I mean, okay, yeah, like, people have different opinions on crypto, obviously. I'm of the opinion that, like, yeah, I see the future for it as a currency, I guess, but, at the same time, I don't know. Maybe at some point, I'm not saying, like, I don't want to, like, yeah, it's a very futurist thing of being like, oh, well, eventually the whole world will run on crypto. The whole world will run on crypto. Eventually. Maybe, you know, who's to say? Who's to say it will, who's to say it won't? I think it's more likely that a currency that isn't tied to, like, a physical land masses economy has a little bit more likelihood of becoming a world currency, and maybe in the future we will drop local currencies like USD, AUD, Indian rupee. Sorry, but yeah, for now I think that crypto it's in flux. Is the nice way to put it. I think that's it's like the majority of people who invest in crypto are the kinds of people who are thinking, well, it only goes up. Like, it's the currency of the future. Like, if I invest in crypto, there's no way I can lose. Despite, like, it is just like a currency. Like, it's not an investment in a company. And, like, it's honestly more understandable if you're investing in, like, a local currency. Like, say you converted all your fucking money into, like, AUD because you're like, well, New Zealand and Australia are handling this COVID shit way better than at least America. And you know, I've heard parts of Europe aren't doing so hot either. So maybe you say, hey, bank... I don't actually know how you would get AUD, but let's just say you convert all your money to AUD, right? Because you can do it. There are ways to go about that. And then the AUD skyrockets because you had an idea as to why it would go up. By handling COVID, you know, correctly, and with the right safety precautions, they got their economy back and running at, like, full efficiency way faster than certain other places in the world. So it would make sense to, like, invest in, like, NZD or AUD, for example. Whereas, I just don't understand, like, investing in crypto, because there is no, like... there aren't many reasons that, like, push an extreme surge in crypto, because, like, I'm talking specifically about Bitcoin. I know that, like, other, like, Ethereum is not tied to the same things that Bitcoin is, and I don't even know, like, what some of the other fucking cryptos are. Putting all your money into Dogecoin, but, like, Dogecoin is a good example. Like, I don't understand what determines the value of Dogecoin. Is it strictly just how much money is put into it? I don't get it. Like, I get it for Bitcoin and I get it for Ethereum because there are actual, like, ties for how you get it, but I don't really see what increases the value of, like, the meme cryptos. I mean, some of them aren't memes, but there's a lot of meme ones. Anyways, I just don't really get it. I don't really, like... It's such an unpredictable market, because the sole reason it, like, bounces crazy high and crazy low is just because of, like, certain fucking rich dumbasses talking about it. And being like, oh yeah, I'm putting all my money in Dogecoin, haha. And then it'll skyrocket for the next few days. I don't get it. I don't get it. My mom was like, you have to get into crypto because it only goes up. Like, if you don't jump on the train now, you're gonna miss out. And then she bought in more Bitcoin when it was, like, at an extreme peak. And then, like, a few days later, she was like, yeah, so it went down by, like, 80%. I was like, yeah, okay. This is why I said I'm probably not going to to put thousands of dollars into Bitcoin. Sorry. It doesn't seem like the soundest investment. But I know that a lot of people are super fucking weird about crypto. And, like, just me talking about it, when I'm coming at it from the angle that, like, I am very ignorant to a lot of the ins and outs of it. Maybe there are better reasons for why crypto surges as opposed to just rich dumbasses talking about it on the internet. But that's kind of the viewpoint it feels like affects it the most. Like, I haven't seen any huge surges in a cryptocurrency that I'm like, oh, well that makes sense because of this and this. But, I don't know. Okay, here. It is, like, still a rich dumbass talking about cryptocurrency, more or less, but I do understand why Bitcoin surged a little bit. I think it was Bitcoin. If I'm wrong about the specific cryptocurrency, then my bad. But it does make a little bit of sense that whatever cryptocurrency it was surged a bit when the Tesla Corporation was like, you are going to be able to buy Teslas with cryptocurrency. Like, yeah. Because for the most part, cryptocurrency, while the idea is nice, it's not like I can go into a fucking Starbucks and be like, give me a fucking cup of water grande. here's my crypto wallet. They're not gonna take too kindly to that. It's I mean, there are places online that you can use certain cryptocurrencies, but still, yeah, I don't know. Until the currency actually becomes more widespread and, like, actually usable, even outside of the internet. Because I think that's, like, the biggest thing that it needs to take off is if you can use the currency. Where do I want to fucking... You know what? Just put it there. Who cares? If you can use the currency on non-online checkouts. Because until that happens, I don't know. I feel like people are just going to use it as, like, an investment tool, which doesn't make any sense to me. But okay, I've talked enough about it. I'm done. That's my impromptu investment strategy guide. Please follow. We're going to the moon, etc. To the moon, pig. To the moon. See, now that would be a great fucking shot if the moon was, like, right there, but I think it's behind me. Alright. Let's fucking finish off this roof, and then probably call it. I got a few other things I could talk about. You know something I was going to talk about when I was talking about all the Texas shit? Don't worry, it's not related to the Texas shit, because I know I've talked about the Texas shit, like, way too much. And a lot of people are probably like, shut up about how bad Texas is. We know it sucks. Because a lot of people probably do know it sucks. But, I forgot to mention, like, one of the funniest signs I've seen in my entire life on the way back home. I don't know. Am I weird for thinking this is funny? Like, maybe I am just a weird little freak, dude. I think I might be. But there is a sign on the way back. First off, is this normal? Like, how normal is this outside of Texas? Is it normal to have, like, fireworks? Whoa! What the fuck? Crazy. Is it normal to have fireworks stands that are just always up? And I don't mean they're always selling fireworks. The majority of the time, they're not selling fireworks. But, like, it's such a, like, I don't know, like, rural Texas thing to be driving around in, like, the middle of nowhere and just see, like, just basic... I don't know how to describe it. It's like a tiny little shack with, like, a garage door. And the garage door, you pull up the garage door and there's all the fireworks and that's it. That's the whole fucking store. It's just it's a fireworks stand. It's so, like, recognizable when you see one of them. And they have, like, bombastic, like, bright color signage all over them. I'm not sure if that's a thing outside of Texas, but for sure, if you live in a rural part of Texas or have been to a rural part of Texas, you'll see those fireworks stands everywhere. But aside from the point, the only reason it's relevant is because I'm going to be talking about a fireworks stand. But the most important part is the sign that I saw on the fireworks stand, which is like, I don't know, like I pointed it out to my mom while we were on the car drive home, and she didn't think it was nearly as funny as I did. But I think there's something like innately hilarious about a sign that said, buy one, get 5 free. Like that, I don't know. It's like the stupidest fucking marketing I've ever heard. Because it's not buy one, get 5 free, it's buy 6. Like, it's so fucking funny to me. Like, it seems like the sign was, like, written by a child. Because, like, who are you fooling? You're not... unless it's, like, a one-time deal. Like, there's no deal there, right? Like, you're not getting a bargain, you're just buying 6. I don't understand. But it's so fucking funny to me. It's a great deal. Maybe I'm missing out, dude. It's so fucking funny, though. I just don't know. Like, what kind of person do you have to be to see a sign that says buy one, get 5 free, and are like, oh my god, what are the margins on this store? They must be going out of business with crazy deals like this. Like, to find a deal like that impressive and not just immediately laugh at, like, the audacity that the person who wrote the sign thinks they're getting away with it. I don't know what kind of person you gotta be. But, oh man. Like, where do you get off? Where do you get off trying to tell me that it's buy one, get 5 free? The only way that that could be a real, significant deal is if it's only, like, a one-time thing. But, like, it's not even, like, okay. Like, normally, when a store is going to do something like that, they want to, like, upcharge a different package, right? Like, normally deals like that, here would be a perfect example, right? They could have the exact same setup, but make it worse for the customer. I think the customer would feel better about it, like, psychologically, if they had it set up this way. If they had it set up so that there were 2 options, you can either buy one, get one, and that's it, you just buy one, or you can buy 2 and get 4 free, which is the exact same deal, but I think psychologically, like, there's more to that than just buy one, get 5 free. I feel like most people immediately look at that and are like, oh, so you want me to buy 6 then, huh? You little freak? I don't know. Because, like, there's a lot of places that'll be like, yeah, you could have, like, the medium drink for $5, or you can have the large drink for $5.50, which is, like, I mean, first off, a huge contributor to obesity in America, but also, it's like, yeah, the reason that the first deal is so complete shit-ass garbage is because they want you to always buy the more expensive deal. So, like, yeah, even though literally no one would buy the fireworks outright as buy one, get one, I think there's more psychological impotence. Impotence? That's the exact wait, impotence. Impotence. No. Wait a second. Wait, is there a word that's, like, sounds really close to impotence? That's exactly what I want? Is it impudence? Like, I-M-P-U? Oh my god! It is! Impudence and impotence. Like, when I say the word, it sounds like basically the exact same word, which is why I'm going out of my way to be super clear on my pronunciation. But, impudence. God. Like, that's a real word! I just looked it up for those that don't believe me. And it does mean what I thought it meant, but it sounds so close to impotence that I thought I was saying something wrong. Anyways, yeah, I feel like there's more incentive for people to buy the real deal, which is buy 2, get 4 free, than just saying buy 1, get 5 free. It's so fucking funny to me. It's like someone looked at like a YouTube tutorial for marketing, and that was like the one lesson they learned, is like, well, people like free shit, so just say they're getting 5 free. Easy peasy. Marketing in a nutshell. I'm probably the only one that thinks buy 1, get 5 free is as funny as I think it is, but I find it hilarious. Alright, so that's that. That's it. I'm out of conversation topics. I'm not out of conversation topics, but it feels so awkward to pivot to other things with no segue. Maybe I should, like, draw arrows to all of the things on my list of conversations and write segue ideas for all of them. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. Literal frog. I swallowed one earlier. You ever think about chocolate frogs from Harry Potter? Have I already talked about this before? I know I've definitely talked about it off-stream. Who wants a chocolate frog? And, okay, I know that earlier I said I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, so if I'm forgetting exactly how these chocolate frogs work, my bad. But, like, they're just chocolate, right? Like, it's just, like, magically animated chocolate that jumps around and moves like a frog. Is the implication that it stays lively and wiggling when you're eating it? Because, like, I don't really want to put, like a living, feeling creature in my mouth while I crunch down on chocolate. There's a reason I don't seek, like, live crickets as a source of sustenance. I find no enjoyment with the idea of eating a chocolate frog. It sickens me. Sickens to me to my absolute core. There's a lot of fucked up shit. Like, what is butterbeer, dude? Harry Potter were off their shits. J.K. Rowling crazy with that one. I mean, J.K. Rowling is kind of crazy, legitimately. She, you know, it's very woke, I guess is what I'll say. She's too online. That's the nicest way of putting it. J.K. Rowling is way too online, or at least she used to be. Maybe she's gotten better. Maybe she's sought other alternatives to constantly posting dumb shit. But for a while there, it was really just non-stop nonsense and bullshit coming out of her. Just, you know, like, what are you doing, right? Like, you're already successful, right? Like, you could just not. Why post? What do you I just don't get it. Like, if I was that successful, I'd just probably delete my Twitter. Which is hilarious because I don't really use Twitter in the first place. But I would never fucking tweet, which I already am not doing. There's definitely going to be a point in my life where I probably should be posting more than zero amount. But I just never really have that much worth posting, honestly. But there will come a time where it's probably a good idea to stay a little bit more active on things like Twitter and other such social media. But if you've already made it, I see no good answer for why you're still posting weird shit on main. Just, like, log off, J.K. Rowling. Get out of here. We don't need you. We already bought your books. Is she still writing things? I haven't really checked in. The only thing I know is it's Harry Potter. That's it. what's the other kids book writer? Yeah, she's still writing. There's J.K. Rowling, and then the other big one is Suzanne Collins. I got it. Suzanne Collins, she wrote, I think I've read more Suzanne Collins than I have, Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling, I mean, same thing. I read the entire, because Suzanne Collins did Gregor. I know that obviously more people are probably familiar with the Hunger Games, but I read Gregor the Overlander, which is, I believe that's Suzanne Collins. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she also did that. And that's honestly, like, the only book series that I actually remember reading as a kid in my life, because I don't really read shit all that often. Like, the only multiple book series I think I've actually gone through and finished is Gregor the Overlander. It had its moments. You know, it is kids writing, and I would probably not be super entertained with it if I read it again today. But reading it in, like, elementary school, and I think, like, 6th grade and middle school as well, it was good for the time I read it. But, yeah, just be more like Suzanne Collins. Or maybe don't, because, I don't know, has Suzanne Collins done worse shit than J.K. Rowling? I probably shouldn't say be more like X person, when I don't really know what X person has done. I just haven't heard, like, anything about Suzanne Collins, so I just assumed that, that they were probably handling their online perception a little bit better than J.K. Rowling, but maybe it's worse. Maybe Suzanne Collins is canceled or something, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should Google it. Should I Google Suzanne Collins canceled, see what comes up? Suzanne. Let's check it out. First, let's see if I was right. Oh yeah, Gregor the Overlander, dude, I nailed it. Suzanne Collins canceled. Here we go. Hunger Game fans not happy about the... Our Hunger Game fans are rage tweeting about the President Snow prequel. Rage tweeting. Now, it's one thing to write an article about Twitter, which is not a good look, but it's a worse thing to include in the headline rage tweeting. You know, if the worst thing said about Suzanne Collins is the fact that people didn't like a book she wrote, I think that Suzanne Collins is probably handling her online perception a little bit better than J.K. Rowling. I'd stick to what I said. That was the top result for Suzanne Collins canceled, so... Unless there's some truly horrible shit in that book, I think it's probably alright. But who knows? Who knows? I think at some point I did hear that, like, I don't know, the entire perception of, like, at least the Hunger Games that I've seen and know about, the themes in it are very clear, that it's kind of like, you know, dystopian future of a capitalist society, that the classes are so separated that the higher-ups get to laugh and watch as the lower class fight each other to the death. So, you know, it's a pretty woke story, if there are woke stories in children's books, as far as that goes. But, I did hear at some point, I think that, like, the narrative kind of shifts, and it kind of tells the exact opposite story of that, but I also maybe shouldn't even be talking about it, because I haven't read the books myself. Maybe that's why people are rage tweeting. Maybe the prequel story is like, well, actually... you know, maybe. I'm just... I don't want to... I don't want to say anything without reading the books, but I was gonna say, actually the higher class were the lower class all along, which just doesn't even make any goddamn sense. Maybe it spins it on a more monarchical. Monarchical? Is that a real word? Google definition for monarchical. A more monarchical storyline. Which, I mean, I don't know. It kind of was already more monarchy than class separation, because, like, it kind of seemed like if you were born... Well, I don't know, but that is kind of class separation, is if you were born into the lower class, you're probably going to stay in the lower class anyways. I don't think there are too many stories of people being born in the lower districts rising to the top in the Hunger Games storyline. Maybe there are, and maybe that's why people are upset. Who knows? Who knows? We're almost done with the ceiling, which means I can stop fucking talking about shit I don't actually know anything about. One of these days, I'll keep myself to topics that I'm actually educated on. Should probably not talk about book series I literally haven't read. My bad. My bad. But I'm just looking. I'm looking at the list still, and I'm like, no matter how I look at these topics, there is no natural transition. Well, you know, one I could try. Here you go. All right, Hunger Games. It's kind of like an entertainment show, right? Like they do it for the entertainment of the higher class. All right, get ready for this. Talent shows, right? It's kind of... Well, what else are talent shows than an excuse to... Well, okay, maybe I'm just the asshole here. Like, even when I was the kid participating in talent shows, I just saw it as, like, the easiest opportunity to kind of laugh at people. Because, like, a lot of people are doing it, at least in my class, so I don't know. The school I went to, we had mandatory talent shows, like everybody had to participate, because, I don't know, it was like an all-inclusive thing. Even if you don't think you have a talent, you can find a talent. Everyone's got a talent, sort of thing. So, a lot of the people who did talent show acts, like, straight up just didn't want to be doing it at all, and were kind of, you know, laughing at themselves, because they're like, yeah, you know, it's just, I'm doing this because I have to, not because I want to, sort of thing. And I'm not saying that there weren't any good performances, because, like, yeah, you know, you'll get like a 5th grader doing some riffs on a guitar, and you're like, yeah, you really can do those riffs on that guitar. Good going, buddy. Singing, not so much, but, you know, we're all going through puberty right around here, so maybe afterwards you can try the singing again. But, I don't know. Do I just come across as, like, an extreme asshole when I think it's absolutely fucking hilarious when someone completely bombs it on a live performance? Like, that is the content I am always seeking out. Like, it is, like, incredible, you know, cringe content to watch someone fail live in action. But, I live for it. Like, being exposed to it at a young age, doing those talent shows, I'm like, sign me the fuck up. Because, like, I had to embarrass myself, too. I got in the mix of it. I can't even remember what I did for my shows in the talent show. I think I was just like, hey, look, I can make, like, a seal. I can make, like, a seal riding a wave out of my thumb. Isn't that crazy? It's kind of wild. I think it was probably a little bit more impressive than that, but, I don't know. I actually think that, like, for one of the years in the talent show, I was like, look, I'm double jointed. Because I can do that with my thumb, which is not standard. And, my knees are also... I don't think it's double jointed, but I just have very flexible knees that, when I'm standing, let me, like... I mean, do I want to showcase it? I don't even think, like, my camera doesn't really show that low, but it's probably low enough that I could show. I mean, like, how... Oh, it's been a while since I've done it, but, no, I can't do it! I'm now watching my camera to make sure... Yeah, I can't do it. I was gonna do it, but then I realized that that would be me showing my feet on camera, and I am absolutely never going to show my feet on camera. I'm glad I saved myself from that one. But, yeah, I do have knees that allow me to, like, here. if this is my... I mean, this is normal for arms, right? But if this is my leg, and this is me bending my leg backwards like normal, I can bend my leg to the point where it's, like, flat up against my, you know, upper leg, my thighs. Which I don't think most people can stretch their leg backwards that far. At least not in elementary school, at the very least. Now, if you're, like, a contortionist or a gymnast or something, you probably can, but I don't think fresh out of the womb most babies have that kind of leg action. On the other hand, though, my leg is incredibly inflexible in the other direction. Like, if I lift my thigh literally, like, an inch away from parallel with my back, immediately my leg starts bending. Like, there is no flexibility moving my leg forward. I basically always have to bend my knee to lift my thigh up at all. Which I should probably work on, because that's actually the kind of flexibility that you can practice pretty easily, just by doing daily stretches. But, yeah, no, don't care to do that too often. But, due to those mandatory talent shows, I did get a, I'm just not gonna go back to make a shovel. I'm gonna have to go back to make pickaxes anyways. Ugh. I hate this. Let me just mine out the rest of my pickaxes first, then. There were some great stories that, unfortunately, I forget basically all of. I do remember, one particular, like, it was by far the worst offender as far as, bombs at the talent show. It was a kid that, he had, like, a comedy routine set up, but, like, it was so painfully obvious that literally every single joke he just, like, printed out from jokes.com. And he was, like, reading them off of a piece of paper, and he was so nervous and, like, shaking on stage, and he, like, couldn't get the fucking words out correctly for every single joke. I think he literally got, like, 3 jokes down on the list before he, like, he couldn't bear to be on stage anymore. And he wasn't, like, brought to tears or anything. Like, he was, you know, he was aware of the situation and realizing that, you know, no one really cared that he was doing poorly, but he was doing poorly. But, it was certainly funny for me. One particular joke that stands out in my memory, because it's one of the very few jokes that he made, and I'm pretty sure the reason it stands out in memory is because it was, like, the last joke he barely got out of his mouth before he ran off stage, was, like, it's such a bad joke, but it was something along the lines of, like, what home appliance do you find on the beach? Microwaves. There you go. That's the whole joke. But not only that, imagine that joke with the delivery of having to repeat each line about 5 times because they weren't happy with the way they delivered it. One of the best comedy performances in history. I would see one of their stand-up shows any day of the week. Speaking of people completely bombing it on stand-up, I did watch a little bit of, I was gonna say Eric Warheim, it's not Eric, Tim Heidecker. I saw a bit of Tim Heidecker's most recent, like, stand-up routine, and that was pretty goddamn funny. Like, I didn't watch the entire thing, but, it's kinda like the exact same premise, which is the content I live and strive to be present for at all moments. It's the entire routine is him intentionally, like, completely bombing and having, like, the worst possible performance. It's great. If you're looking for a comedy routine, because, like, I kind of had hopes for, I kind of had, like, a small inkling of hope that, maybe Eric Andre's comedy routine would be funny, but it kind of just, like, wasn't at all. Like, I also saw a very small amount of Eric Andre's comedy routine that he did for Netflix, but I watched even less of that than I did of Tim Heidecker's, because it just really wasn't funny. Like, it was a lot of just, you know, shock value, like, you're not supposed to say that, as well as talking about drugs, and I'm like, alright, that's the whole thing, that's the whole, from top to bottom, that's the entire premise of your comedy routine, is shock value and talking about drugs. Which, I don't know, I mean, the audience at times seemed to be enjoying it, but, like, even the audience, at moments, I was like, yeah, it seems like some of the people here were like, this is not what I signed up for or expected at all, and goddammit, I didn't make any shovels. Whatever, I'm living with it. But yeah, I imagine most people who went to the Tim Heidecker routine were also not expecting a live performance of someone completely fucking bombing. But that is significantly funnier than, just being outrageous for the sake of being outrageous. Maybe that's just me, though. I just, you know, I think it's funny when, someone comes up on stage and says, "Are you doing all right?" No, you are doing all left. That's peak comedy right there. Jokes that are so abysmally unfunny that when delivered, literally no one laughs. That's when I start laughing. More of that in my life, please. We actually, we did it, though. We finished. And I'm gonna say we finished because, honestly, I don't know, I don't really have that much more to say. I'll try and get more natural segues for the next Minecraft stream, but we mostly finished. Like, all I have to do is knock out this one layer of rock and dirt, and the ceiling will be raised as high as I want it to be. And then we can start getting to work on actually putting in trees and wheat and all other crazy shit. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I know I said I was gonna do Dyson Sphere. I'll try and do more Minecraft, and well, no, I'm gonna be doing Loop Hero tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow is probably just gonna be Loop Hero, and a lot of it. But the day after, I'll probably try and fit Loop Hero and Dyson Sphere, and that'll wrap up the week. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for Loop Hero for sure. So thank you for hanging out. Hopefully it was enjoyable, even though I know I suck at making segues between conversation topics. My bad. Hopefully the conversation topics were at least entertaining. I know the Minecraft content was literally just me holding left mouse button and moving occasionally. But that's just kind of what alpha Minecraft is like, so, you know, I don't really have too much say in that. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks again. Goodbye.